Hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Cooking with Mo and Deb. Tonight we're going to do an old recipe. I want y'all to see this. Oh, can you see it? Probably not. It is an
It is
old
a yellow piece of paper.
piece of newspaper that my mother cut out of the newspaper probably back in the 70s.
You've had that a while.
It's called Big O's. I don't know who O is, but it's Big O's Swiss steak. So that's what we're going to have for supper, Debbie.
Okay.
And Debbie and I both worked all day, and it's getting late. You can see outside it's getting dark, and Tank's hungry, so I'm hungry, and Deb's hungry. So we're going to put this thing in the quick cooker.
Which is a pressure cooker.
It's a pressure cooker, or if you have an Instapot, same thing. So the first thing I'm going to do, the first thing is a hammer.
Beware.
I've got 3 pieces of round steak here, and I don't know if you, let's see, Debbie might have to be the camera woman today.
Can you see? Okay.
Yeah. So,
ready?
yeah, and I put a little bit of meat tenderizer on those, and they didn't have the greatest cuts of meat at the store today, but I got what they had.
So what's wrong with those?
And I put just a little bit of Adolph's meat tenderizer.
I mean, what do you mean?
I don't know.
They're not the greatest. They look good to me.
They look okay, but I don't like a lot of fat running through my meat and my beef. But that's okay, some people do. So I've got some tenderizer on it, and I'm just gonna, I covered it with some, what do you call that?
Not parchment paper, it's sealing stick.
Cling wrap.
Cling wrap.
Yeah. And so I'm just gonna kind of beat them a little bit so they'll be good and tender. This is one thing Mama always let me do in the kitchen. Because, you know, I must have been, you know, full of energy. And she's like, come in here and beat these steaks. Okay. That's fun.
Do you have to do that to both sides?
You can, but I'm probably not going to because we're cooking it in a quick cooker and it'll tenderize it.
It will tenderize it.
It really will. So I think that's good enough. What do you think?
It looks good to me.
In my expert opinion.
Okay, here we go. We can see up close.
Yeah, so that just kind of, you know, it just kind of gets that tenderizer in there, and
We've got a phone ringing.
phone's ringing. Okay.
Some people still have a home phone.
Okay, Deb, follow me. Well,
Okay,
it
hold on.
comes free with our internet.
I know.
All right.
So here's the quick cooker. All right. Which is the same as an Instapot, which is also a pressure cooker. And that's what we're cooking the Swiss steak in. So that means it's going to cook quicker than usual, right?
Right. We've got a little bit of oil in the pressure cooker. And in this flour mixture, this is 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And so that's just made a nice little flour mixture. And actually, Deb, I need to cut these in half because we don't want to eat that big old. I know, we probably can. Speak for myself. Oh. Well, there are only 3 of us eating tonight, so it would be fine.
So we're cutting them in half.
Yeah, I'm just going to cut them in half.
And then you're going to dredge them, right?
Dredge. Yes, I'm going to dredge them like this.
In the flour.
And you hear
mixture.
my cat, but
He probably smells it.
he thinks he's going to get a bite, and he probably will at some point.
Tell me again what you said was in that flour.
It's 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of black pepper.
Now, and then you're going to drop it into the quick cooker.
Drop it in. We got some hot oil in here.
Which I turned it on to.
Okay.
It's turned on to sear.
All right.
Because we're going to sear them on each side, right? Just kind of brown them.
Just kind of brown them.
Ooh. But these are going to be good. I can hear it starting to sizzle.
Yep, it's starting to sizzle. Do y'all like your quick cookers? Do you have a quick cooker, and do you like it?
Or an Instapot. I think a lot of people have an Instapot.
Yeah.
The quick cooker is actually from Pampered Chef.
Yep, it's, of course, it's from Pampered Chef. Deb sold me on it the first time I saw it. I was at her house, we were cooking, and we cooked, what did we cook in it? Beef tips?
Beef tips, probably.
We cooked those beef tips that night, and before I left her house, I had her order me one on her computer.
Love those kind of orders.
Oh, man.
They are so good though for cooking your food quickly. Now,
Right.
how long would this normally take, Mo? Do you remember in the recipe? Here, I have it right here.
Well, you have to simmer the steak for an hour.
Oh, so
Yeah.
this is gonna cook, I think the beef setting is 35 minutes, right?
Right, so we're gonna cook the whole kit and caboodle in 35 minutes versus probably an hour and a half or 2 hours, you know, whatever
Including,
it is.
we're gonna also have mashed potatoes, and we're gonna also cook them in the quick cooker
Yes,
at the same time.
At the same time, so when we open it up, not only will our steaks be ready, but
And
the potatoes will be
it
ready.
might be that as you're dredging and putting these in, if it's too tight, so like we've got 6 pieces, we might have to cook them on or sear them on each side, take them
Yeah.
out so we can get the rest of them in. That's
Yeah.
okay. It's just gonna take
That's
a minute
okay.
or two to get this going. And
Yeah.
then what we're gonna do is peel potatoes, and we put them in. This one comes with a stand that we're gonna put down into the pot, and then our mashed potatoes are gonna be in it, covered with a lid, and then we'll put the top on the quick cooker and let them cook for 35. Right?
That's exactly right, Debo. So we'll be back in just a minute and show you our next step.
We're back.
Okay, so we have decided that this is one of those recipes back in the olden days when maybe they had more time or something during the day, because this recipe, if you made it by the recipe that's in the little newspaper clipping, it would take you 2.5 hours.
I ain't got time to spend 2.5 hours.
So 2.5 hours, but we're gonna cook it in about 45 minutes in the quick cooker. So the reason I say 45 is because 35 minutes, you've got your meat and tomatoes cooking. And I'm gonna bring you over here so you can see what we've done. We've got the meat seared, and we've just put it down in the bottom of the quick cooker. So, let's get a little closer. Okay. All right, so you can see what we're doing. Okay, so we're gonna add now 2 cans of stewed tomatoes on top of that. Now, Debbie, is that enough liquid to put in there for
Yes,
the quick
anytime
cooker?
you use your quick cooker, you need at least 1 cup of liquid.
Do you think there's enough? You think
Let me look at it.
it's not that liquidy? is what
Then
I'm
all you
saying.
gotta do is add a little bit of water.
How about
So
at
I
all?
would put just
Maybe half a can.
a little bit more water with it.
All right. So we're gonna add a half can of water. That way,
There you go.
when you're using the quick cooker, you've got to be sure you got enough liquid in there. Okay, now we're gonna cook this, but we're also gonna cook our potatoes at the same time.
So we've got the potatoes already cut, and we have water in them. You can add maybe some chicken broth if you have it on hand. You can cook them in chicken broth. First thing we're gonna do is to put this in the quick cooker. You
Okay,
just
let
set
me
it
add my
down.
pepper.
Oh, sorry.
I forgot. I got 1 teaspoon of pepper to add here. Okay. And this recipe called for 3 teaspoons of salt. I am not putting 3 teaspoons of salt in this recipe. I'm only putting 2. We had 1 in the flour. I'm actually not even
And I'm
putting
sure
a
the
whole teaspoon.
tomatoes have some salt.
I'm sure, yeah. So
So-
we adjusted that salt down because, you know, we're old and we don't want no high blood pressure going on.
So you can adjust a recipe
Then
to
I'm just
however
gonna
you need
stir
it.
that around a little
Let's see
bit.
what it looks like now.
Okay,
Come in close. There
so
we
it's
go.
got the stewed tomatoes on top of the steak now.
Okay.
All right, now we're gonna put in this little stand that comes with the quick cooker. It'll just get right down on top of that meat.
And the
Alright.
potatoes have a silicone lid. Yeah, it just sits right down
Okay,
in there.
got it.
We'll put the silicone lid on. And then there's this little doodad
It's a pot lifter.
so that you can lift it out. So we're going
Or
to set
bowl
the bowl
lifter.
in it. And then we can set it in to...
And it just goes down inside. Those go folded over. Is that right, Debbie?
Yep, that's perfect.
All right, now we're gonna put the lid on.
Okay,
Listen to the music.
now we turned the quick cooker to the beef setting. Where's beef? Right.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? The beef setting is 35 minutes. Let me
Okay.
turn this around.
All right.
so
Yeah, you
can
turn that
see.
around.
The steam will come out here. What's going to happen is I'm going to push start, and it's going to pressure up on the inside and begin cooking, and then it'll cook for 35 minutes. So let's hit start.
All right.
There, it's starting to pressure up. It takes probably 10 minutes or so for it to pressure up and to begin cooking, and then it'll cook for 35 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll
Gotcha.
come back to see the cooked beef.
Yep.
And we also have another step because we have some yummy, yummy vegetables.
Yep, we've got, Deb's made, she's cut rings of green bell pepper, red bell pepper, and onion, and we've got some sliced
I've got
mushrooms.
mushrooms.
And that will all go on top. And it's gonna be really
I can't
good.
Wait till this is finished.
I know, we're hungry. It's a Friday night. Normally Tink and I go out to eat on a Friday night, but this is gonna be really good, and it's gonna be worth staying home.
That's right, for sure.
Okay, we'll be right back.
back.
Not quite. Hey, we're back. Our round steak and tomatoes have been cooking for 35 minutes. And so we are ready to release the steam from this baby. So Debbie, work
Don't
your
jump.
magic.
A lot of the
I
steam
always
is
do.
already released. This is the quick release. Every quick cooker or every pressure cooker has a release. And you can let it set and release on its own, or
Or
you
you
can
can
quick
release it.
release yourself. Now you notice that the button went
The
down.
button went down, right.
So now we can take the lid off. So
Okay. All
I forgot
right.
about the potatoes being on there. We need
Yeah, I got some.
gripper.
Yeah, I got some grippers.
we gotta take our
Gripper
potatoes
grippers.
off. Oh, that's perfect.
Didn't I get these from you?
They're not Pampered Chef, but I don't know where you go.
I don't know where I got them either. But
So
they
we'll
are-
take our potatoes out. They're gonna be done.
Okay, yes,
Man.
they will be done. Okay.
This looks really good here. Let me bring the camera over. You gotta see.
Okay, I need to get that thingy out.
Yes, get the tray out. But look, look, look. Look how yummy it's looking. A fork maybe?
I'm looking for those.
That tray is what the potatoes were sitting on. We're gonna get that
We're
out.
gonna get that out for sure.
Now take a look. I know you're just seeing the potatoes and the juice right now, but yummy.
You mean the tomatoes and
Oh,
the
man,
juice.
tomatoes. Yes, sorry.
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add the green bell peppers. The
Boy, this
orange
smells
bell
really good.
peppers.
I cut the red ones wrong way. There should
Yeah.
have been
They're
rings,
supposed
not
to be
strips.
rings, not strings.
Not
but
that it matters on the
Debbie
taste,
wasn't
but
paying attention. You know what? It's all gonna be good. And then we're gonna top it with these onions
oh, don't forget your mushrooms too.
and mushrooms. Thanks, Deb. No, to me, that's what makes it.
The mushrooms?
Uh-huh.
Oh, really?
So I'm gonna add the mushrooms on
Now
the
I'll
very,
take
very
a
top.
look.
Tip, top, tip. And now
Okay.
I'm gonna put a little salt and pepper on it again.
Okay.
I'm gonna use Deb's fancy salt and pepper shakers. Pepper. She brought them to my house.
Salt.
And salt. And I know we said we've already got enough salt
Well,
in
but
there,
we put a
the
lot of
veggies-
vegetables in there, so that's
veggies
the
need
difference
some
on that.
salt.
So now we're going to put that lid back on the quick cooker, which I set it right behind you. And we're gonna let them cook for 5 minutes. So
You think 5 minutes will do it, Deb?
I think so. This is a guessing game at this point.
Now this is the first time I've ever made this in a quick cooker situation. Normally, Mother cooked it 2.5, 3 hours, you know, so.
We don't want to wait 2.5 or 3 hours.
Yeah,
to
you
eat,
can do it
so-
in an electric skillet too, but when we put the recipe out there, we'll give you all the options. But, so we're gonna do,
we're gonna leave it on.
leave it on beef.
Yes, we're gonna turn it back over to beef. No, actually, we're gonna do a custom setting.
Custom setting,
So.
okay.
Let's do custom.
Debbie
and,
knows more about my quick cooker than I do.
Time, and then we're gonna go down to
5
5.
minutes, okay.
And again, it'll take a few minutes for it to pressure up.
But probably not long since it's so hot.
Right. So I've got it on 5. I'm going to
then
hit
press
start.
All right.
So it'll pressure up, then it'll cook for 5 minutes, and then we get to eat, right?
Oh yes, and we'll be
Oh,
right back.
And we'll show the potatoes whenever we come back.
We sure will.
See
So
ya.
we'll be right back.
Hey y'all, it is time to make our mashed potatoes. So the potatoes we're cooking in the quick cooker or in the pressure cooker with the steak that's still cooking, steak and vegetables. We've got 1 more minute. So quickly, Mo is going to make our mashed potatoes.
Quickly. Easy for me to say, right?
So all you gotta do is take your masher, your potato masher. We're using the mix and chop, and just mash them up. Do you have milk? Do you want milk to go in?
I do have milk. I thought I got it out. Did I not?
I don't see it. But I'll keep
Get
it.
the evaporated milk, Debbie.
Evaporated milk. Is it in the fridge?
It's in there.
Oh, here it is.
I knew I got it out.
Yeah, you know what?
I thought I got it out anyway.
Evaporated milk really does make a difference when you
And
mash
your cream potatoes. Mashed potatoes, that's right.
Yes. Okay,
Dang.
quick cooker has finished cooking. I'll wait till you get those mashed potatoes done.
Okay.
We can let it set for a minute.
Okay, here we go.
Now, if you don't like a little bit of chunks in your mashed potatoes, you can always put these into a bowl
Mixer.
and use your mixer.
I was too lazy to get my mixer back
Some
out.
days I have that. I just don't even want to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to have a few chunks in our potatoes.
So we're gonna use salt
Gotta have plenty of salt in your mashed potatoes.
in your salt potatoes.
Yeah.
In your
Yes.
mashed potatoes. And they are just gonna be mashed and not creamed, even though I'm putting cream in them.
That's the difference.
So they have like a little chunky texture to them, right, Deb?
Yes. Now, do you put pepper in yours?
Yeah, I do.
You have pepper?
Yep, it's right here. Right here beside me.
And if they are too thick, add a little more evaporated milk. Because I did pour off the water before we started mashing them.
Okay, I think they're good.
Perfect.
They're still chunky, not crunchy.
That's what we're going for today, is
And
a chunky
actually-
potato.
We talked about, we wish they had gotten a little bit softer, so.
They're going to be fine.
But they will
Looks
be
good.
good. So here is our potatoes that we
Cooked right in
That bowl's hot.
the pressure cooker.
Ow! My bowl's hot.
We cooked the potatoes in the pressure cooker along with the steak that we're
Okay.
making. What's this called again?
Big O's Swiss steak.
Swiss steak. All right, so
I don't know who Big O was, but
we put the lid back on with the vegetables in, and we've let them cook for 5 minutes. So I'm going to release the steam again. There's no steam,
there's no steam.
so it's
Because
already
it's
released.
already released, yeah.
No worries, it's already
Released
released.
itself. It's not going to blow up on
Nope.
us.
Oh me, look at that! Look at those vegetables in there.
Goodness. Yummo.
Yeah, don't be worried about your pressure cooker. It's not going to blow up on you. It's not our mama's pressure cooker.
No, it's not
So
your mama's
it's-
pressure cooker.
They're much more advanced.
I'm checking to see if these peppers.
How they feel.
They're not done.
They're not done yet?
No, they're not
So
quite
we
ready.
we can let them cook a few more minutes. I'd like to see what the steak looks like, though. Let me hold
know.
this over. What does the steak look like?
I don't know. I can't get to it. It's on the bottom.
Uh-huh.
The steak is plenty done. Oh, I just got a piece. You want
yummy.
to try it?
Yes, let's take it out.
Hold on.
We're going to cook it a few more minutes, but we can have a taste test.
Well, Debbie,
Maybe. Or maybe we'll just wait.
here you go. Here's the
It looks
steak.
yummy. It looks like it's really tender, too.
It is tender.
That's always my difficulty, is getting things like this tender enough.
Come over here and try it, Debbie. But I do think we need to let our peppers cook
Oh,
a little bit
man,
longer.
I'm
I
ready to
think
eat.
10 minutes instead of 5.
Okay. It's still a little hot.
But like I said, we haven't made this in the quick cooker. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
I need to sneeze.
It is really good. So tender.
The pepper in them.
Okay. Well,
So
back to
10
cooking it a
minutes.
few more minutes.
Yeah, and then we're going to show you the very finished product when we get it out of the quick cooker. Be right back.
It's time for the Big O's Swiss steak, right?
Yep,
Big O's Swiss steak.
Yep, Big
We
O's
finished it.
Swiss steak reveal.
Yummy. It smells
Yes.
really good.
You see all those good vegetables in there, and the steak. You got tomatoes, peppers, mushrooms,
Onions.
onions.
we're going to give you the whole recipe. But remember, we made it in a pressure cooker.
We did.
It's usually made in a skillet. At least the recipe that we have tells you to make it in a skillet, but you don't have to do it that way. And we cut the time in like a third, maybe less, maybe a quarter of the time. Probably about a quarter of the time that it normally would take in the skillet or the oven to make. We did it in the pressure cooker.
Right. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and post the original recipe if you just want to cook all day, or we'll post it. We'll post the recipe for the quick cooker or the Instapot as well. That way you can pick what you want to do. If you got plenty of time, you know, cook it the old-timey way.
And remember, we also made mashed potatoes in this, so that's another one. It's 2 pans, but one cooker. We did the whole thing in one. Mashed potatoes, vegetables, and
I heated up some green peas to go with it. So we've got cream potatoes, the Swiss steak, and some green peas, and we're about to chow down. It is time to eat. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.